Alright folks, welcome to another beer review, and today we've got a collaboration between Rivington and Deya, and this was the festival beer for the Farm Trip 2024 Beer Festival. DDH IPA, 6% ABV. The official beer, I've just come in from work, I've got a sweaty back, I'm out of breath, so it's beer o'clock. And I quite like this lighting, so hopefully it's a alright quality video in aesthetics minus this. Can't guarantee that the actual content of the video will be of any remote quality, but yeah, official beer of Farm Trip 24, Double Dry Hopped IPA, brewed with our mates at Deya, hopped with Nelson Sauvin, HBC 1019, Strata OGX, and Nelson Sauvin Hop Kief. And yeah, printed by Belmont, who I think were one of the sponsors of the festival. And this has a peelable label. I really like the whole sort of like design of the festival in terms of branding and the way they've labelled the breweries. But there's your selection of breweries who were at the festival. Loads of beer, loads of breweries, and yeah, a good time was had. Got my so I mean, what a location for a beer festival. Went there with Mersey Beers, Blue Nose Beer Reviews, and his long-suffering partner Jamie. I mean suffering because she would have had to have dealt with the beer farts directly in the bed in our Airbnb. Jaco Beer, mine and Adam's mate. It's more Adam's mate I got introduced to him. Steve, Adam being Mersey Beers, Kent Beers, Mersey Beers, Blue Nose Beer Reviews, Jamie, Jake, Steve. Am I forgetting people? Hope not. And then the following day we went round Preston and met up with Simo. Yeah, good weekend. All in all, some wonderful beers were drank. Lots of flatulence. Hardly got any photos, to be honest. I've been really wanting to, create more interesting beer related content, both on here on YouTube and also on my Instagram. But there's I must have had about 5 usable photos, and pretty much every photo that was taken of me, just hideous, absolutely hideous. Thank God for sunglasses though. So yeah, can I remember for the life of me what I had at the festival? No, because I'm an idiot. I think I had a couple of Rivingtons. Stupidly didn't have any state of kind. I tried to avoid the hazies, but it's just gonna happen, is it? Especially when you've got American breweries there. Celestial Beer Works out of Texas, were probably one of my beers of the festival. Which one was it now? It was a West Coast IPA, and it was fantastic. Really was. And then also, because I'm a bit of a whore for American beers, had a couple of Finbacks. I had Way Cool at the festival. Then in one of the pubs post festival, can't remember what the bar was called. I think Taps and something. There's a reason why I can't remember it, because for some reason I was absolutely pissed. Spilt 2 drinks in the same place. So my reputation for spilling drinks and breaking glasses, it's still going on strong. But I came to a realization. I've never been kicked out of a craft beer bar over stuff like that. So I must be a very pleasant, affable drunk. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I had a terrific Impy Stout from Finback at that place. And then whilst in Preston, Adam being Adam, spent way too much on a single beer, shared it with the rest of us, and that was an Imperial Stout by Celestial Beer Works, and my God, just sheer perfection. It really, really was. But yeah, like I said, I can't remember what other breweries that I had whilst I was there. There's a big list, and I probably went to breweries that I drink all the time because it happens. No, it wasn't Celestial Beer Works side of the West Coast. It was Two Flints Double Dry Hopped IPA. Lovely, lovely stuff indeed. Yeah, it was a great range festival. Not that I'm any expert on putting on an event like that, but I don't know, there were some parts that could have probably been organised a bit better. But it was far from like it ruins your experience. They did a great job with the amount of beers that they must have had to have obviously had delivered, not just from the breweries who were directly at the festival as well, but the imported stuff. It was like it's a big ask, and I think it's only going to get better and better as the years go on. There was some bars had I don't know, maybe it's logistically they weren't able to do it, but they'd have like a few beers from that brewery at that bar, then some beers from that same brewery at that bar, and then some beers from that same brewery, so split out around the whole festival space itself. But I suppose that makes sense because it gets people going around, and I think not just because I forgot to keep looking at the beers as they were being released on social media, but I like the idea of not really preparing too much and then just being surprised, and then what takes your fancy while you're there. But yeah, as always with events like that, it's about the company that you're with, and it's just a shame that Mr. Hopzine was there on the Saturday, so we didn't get to see him. Although I think Craig went to Sheffield after our frolic in Preston and met up with him, and then I realised I was actually off the following day, so I could have probably had a few cheeky beers in Chef and then just got the train home and probably get abandoned at Manchester, because just trains are fucking shite when you're coming back from Manchester in the evening. Anyway, I digress. Great festival, of course. Going to be using the proper glassware. I like the choice of glass. Doesn't always have to be a stemmed or bulb of a glass. Tubo, always down for a tubo as well. So that if they would have done that, that would have been fine. And I didn't get any merch, which is a rarity, mainly because I was trying to conserve as much money as I could, even though I ended up buying this and a few other cans whilst I was there, because in a couple of days' time to recording this, I'm having a couple of days in Paris, and yeah, didn't have as much money as I thought I did at this time of the month, and it's a good couple of weeks till payday, so I should be okay. I've got nothing really that I need to spend money on anyway. Clothes are okay, beers, I'll probably end up buying more beers at some point, but yeah, it should be fine. So I've got enough to spend money while I'm there. I'm only there for a full day, about 2/3 of a day when I arrive. Hopefully we can get some content out there. Put together a really crudely made video through iMovie on my phone, because I daren't try it on my MacBook, because that's just how that MacBook is still going since 2011. I will never know. Testament to what Apple used to be. Anyway, beer in the glass then, and what did you expect? It's a Juice Bomb hazy. Don't think I had this whilst I was at the festival. I may well have. One of those ones where I've got tokens to use. But yeah, looking very, very nice, luminous. The light is capturing that perfectly from the window. Dickhead on a motorbike. Little shit houses. Looks good. Let's give it a sniff. Definitely picking up that Nelson-ish aroma on there. But it's juicy, it's got a bit of dankness. Sweaty pineapple. Great band, by the way. It's got a nice sort of like sweetness to it. Like fruity, zesty sweetness. It's just such a vibrant, aromatic beer. It smells good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. I'm really not giving you anything in terms of aromas, but it is what it is. That's very nice. It's got a little bit, I'd say it's not a little bit dry. There is a dryness there, there's a muskiness there. You get those slight grape sort of aromas, flavours. But not too much. Not really that sweet compared to what the aroma was giving you. But it's still rich, it's still bountiful. It's maybe, speaking of bounty, maybe there's a little hint of coconut in there. Yeah. I'm probably saying that now because I've said coconut. So I'm looking for coconut. But it's got that tropical, it's a bit citrusy. It's got a slight passion fruit twang to it. It's getting more dry and dry on the finish. What are the hops? Because I always just instantly pick up the Nelson, which is a good name for a beer. Nelson, yeah, Strata, so that's why I'm getting the... Oh yeah, well it's Nelson, it's two variants of Nelson in there, so it's quite a potent Nelson-y beer. But as someone who's not the biggest fan of Nelson, unless, as is the case with this beer, where Nelson is used with other hops, it's really, really nice. It's just working. It's not just a pleasant beer, it's very flavourful. There's almost like a really quite distinct richness about it as well. Not enough that, you know, a fat fuck like me won't be able to finish off the can. That was a topic of discussion. Well, it wasn't really, it was just passing comments, but you know, and like I can happily sit through, you know, a full can of Imperial Stout and enjoy it. Probably get to a point where it's sort of, but yeah, I've got no problem with Impies coming in 440s or 500ml cans. Do you know what I mean? If it's there and I've opened it and no one else is with me, I'm gonna drink it unless it's not that good. But anyway, really nice mouthfeel. Yeah, it's just damn fine. You know, I remember like from, I don't really go to that many beer festivals, but it just shows you like where we are, where, you know, most festival beers from, you know, recent, like the experience over my, you know, wrist clicked, over my experience of going to festivals were just like sort of like almost like palate cleansers. Do you know what I mean? Just beers that you can just easily drink and split it up from some of the bigger, bolder beers that would be available at those festivals. But yeah, this is just a banging, you know, beer in itself. Not that those beers weren't good. I don't think I've ever had like a weak festival beer. But yeah, I mean, Deya, not gonna lie, for a while, I think I alluded to this in my Saturated in Citra review, which, by the way, what a beer that is. My God. There was like this moment in time where Deya beers weren't really doing it for me. Just nowhere near what you were used to with Deya. Not necessarily in like a lack of quality per se, but just, you know, it's just, they weren't exciting, and missing the mark in some regards. But that saturated in Citra that I had was like, that's Deya to me. That's what Deya is about, and they do it very well. And this, I mean, Rivington, fantastic brewery in their own right. I mean, they're obviously making waves if they're able to work with the other breweries that they've been working with to hold, you know, multi-international festivals like Farm Trip. So yeah, it's a good time. It's a tasty, slightly potent, slightly dry but fruity, bountiful, tropical-ish, citrusy-ish, not too sweet. Yeah, very, very nice indeed. And yeah, highly recommended if you see it. Not sure what the availability will be like when this gets uploaded, because shock horror, I've actually got videos scheduled, and I want to do a few reviews before I leave for Paris. I did say that I wouldn't be drinking any beer this week after, you know, a boozy weekend in Preston, but I'm going away for a day and so I'm gonna enjoy my time. Even though it's me just drinking on my own, sat in front of a window with a camera. Anyway, lovely stuff indeed. Highly recommended, especially if you like your Nelson. It's very, very big on Nelson, this beer, I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, check out both breweries. And if you get the chance, I'd definitely suggest giving the Rivington Farm Fest, or just visit Rivington, because it's a beautiful location. The food that they have there, although the pizza was a little bit, from what I could see, but like the chips, oh my god, I can't remember what food vendor it was who had the chips. They had like a truffle and parmesan chips, oh my god. Yeah, truffle's a great flavour. I don't like truffles, but I like truffle flavoured stuff. Was it bun chicken bun? I don't know, but those are the food options that were there. The chicken burgers look good. I was just a scab and had the food that people didn't want to eat. Didn't purposely do that because I'm not a natural scab. But it depends who you ask, I suppose. Anyway, check out both breweries. Links in the description. If you tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. If you went, let me know your thoughts. And yeah, thank you for watching. You all take care, stay safe, and I really need to sort this hair out. Bye.